Hey guys, my name is Confident. Welcome to the 24-minute lesson excerpt where I will be sharing with you some ideas, some methods, some strategies or concepts that you can incorporate as you prepare for your final exams, be it you're studying for your mathematics N1, your N2 or your N3. Now, if these videos are handy and you are benefiting from them, you can actually press the like button, or if you've got some ideas, you can leave some comments below. If you also like to be notified of extra videos every time we post them, you can subscribe to our channel and then you'll get some notification every time there are new videos. And also, if you are interested in some of our resources, be it textbooks and some videos, you can check this at the end of this video. We will send you some information. Now let's check this concept out. One of the important concepts that you need to master or you need to know is to factorize by grouping, and it is a technique, or it is one of the what I can call method that you need to be able to know in your mathematics N1. Now, whenever we are saying you must factorize by grouping, for example, a question can come in the exam saying factorize the following as far as possible in prime factors, but the moment they give you 4 items like this, what you need to be aware of is I need to group these. For example, if I can rewrite that, you are given x squared plus 3x minus x minus 3. At first it might be confusing to say how do I factorize that, but the moment they give you 4 items, what must quickly come in your mind is I need to group these. So you can group them in the first 2, you take the first 2, and also you take the last 2, so that you can group them like that. Now in the first 2, you need to ask yourself what is common, and then you take out that common thing, and in the last 2 again you need to ask yourself what is common, you take out the common. Now a few things that you need also to be aware of I'm going to be mentioning in this kind of factorization. Now let us look at the first 2. Now in the first 2 we are saying what is common in x squared and 3x. You can see that x is repeating, but now we must take the one which is the smallest power. So I've got x squared there, I've got 3x to the power of 1, so I need to take the x which is smaller because it must divide into both. So now what is actually happening here is I'm having my x squared and I'm having my 3x. So when I'm saying x is common, it's like I'm dividing each and every item, this first 2, by x. So the x into x squared, remember x squared is same as x times x, so I'm cancelling 1 to remain with 1x, and then x into 3x. So what will remain is x this side, and what will remain is 3 that side. So that's what basically is happening. So I will have x plus 3. Now in the next one, I'm going to put a positive sign. I will always encourage to always put a positive sign, and then after that, observe the last 2. You can see it says minus x minus 3, which already says it is similar to that bracket, but what you need to do is you just write minus x minus 3 as it is. Now when you have done that, what you need to do, you need to use that concept of the negative. Now the negative sign is the one that is making things look different, because in the first bracket you've got x plus 3, in the second bracket you've got minus x minus 3. So you introduce a negative sign, whereby where there is the positive, you're going to put a negative sign. The moment you put a negative sign, everything inside the bracket, also the signs will interchange. For example, the negative x will become the positive x, the negative 3 will become the positive 3. So if you rewrite this, you're going to have the x, you will have the x plus 3. So where there is a positive, I took out a negative, so I'm going to be having now x plus 3. Now something interesting we are having the brackets that are similar, which is what you must be looking for. you must always look, or you must always achieve similar brackets. And these are the first brackets that you're going to write as your x plus 3. And then you need to open another bracket. Now the other bracket that you're going to open is, you're going to write the things that are outside the bracket. The first one is the x there. And the second thing you're observing is that negative sign. So you're going to write the negative sign. But the question is, what are you going to put after the negative? Now there is a 1 that is hidden there, which is a placeholder, because 1 does not change anything. So it is supposed then to be x minus 1. So that's what actually you're supposed to put there. And when you're given such a problem, you can use the concept of expanding. And when you expand, you can actually go back to check if ever it takes you back to the previous first answer. So if you expand, for example, x plus 3 and x minus 1, by expanding, what it actually means is the x will multiply the x will multiply the minus 1, the 3 will multiply the x, and the 3 will multiply the minus 1. So what that you are having, x times x is x squared, x times minus 1 is minus 1x, which is same as minus x. 3 times x is a positive 3x, and 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. Now what you need to do is to check now whether they are matching. The x squared, if I can use, is there on the other side, the x squared, minus 1x, which is minus x, I'm having minus x, plus 3x, I'm also having a plus 3x, and minus 3, I'm also having a minus 3. So this is the way you can prove that you did the proper grouping or factorization. Then you can now be sure that your answer is definitely correct. Let us look at the last one again. Factorizing by grouping. It says factorize the following as far as possible. So what they gave you 2x cubed plus 5x plus 8x squared plus 20. Now again, remember, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, what is common in the first two and what is common in the last two? So if you can do that, then it will be much easier. And you must look out for the first thing, the brackets must be the same, and then you need to come up with the second bracket. So that's what you'll be doing. So you know that when there are 4, I must come up with 2 brackets like that. That is the aim of this kind of factorization by grouping. So now you ask yourself, what is common in the first two? Look at the numbers first. 2 and 5, there is nothing common, but the x cubed and the x, you can see that the smallest power there is x to the power of 1. So you take out the x, such that you are now saying 2x cubed divided by x. The x will cancel the first x, so that you are remaining with 2x squared. Now again, 5x divided by x, you will remain with a positive 5. So the next important thing is to come out with a bracket which is similar to 2x squared plus 5. So now let us look at the last two. What is common between 8x squared plus 20? Now you look at the numbers 8 and 20. You need to know your highest common factor in this case. I said always put a plus. It is 4. Now the x squared, the other part there is no x, so which means the 4 is the only number that is common. So I will divide 8x squared divided by 4. I will have a 2x squared, and 20 divided by 4, I will have a plus 5. Now look at the brackets, 2 similar brackets, which means I can now come up with my first bracket, and my first bracket is the one already inside the brackets, 2x squared plus 5, and the second bracket is what is outside the bracket. You can see I've got in my second bracket x plus 4. So this is actually what I'm having. Now there's something interesting though. In the same, someone can do it differently. For example, if I can take my 2x cubed, now this is the first one. If I can expand that so that it becomes much clearer. Now if you can look at it, it's my 2x cubed. I can rearrange and start with the 8x squared as well as the 5x and the 20. So I can bring this closer and bring that on the other side. Remember, there is no equal sign, so the signs are not changing at all. It's just what we mean when we say you need to rearrange. So I'm going to rearrange that. So when I rearrange, it will be plus 8x squared plus 5x plus 20. Now the question you are going to ask yourself is, why am I rearranging? Now what is interesting me is, when I rearranged, my aim was to focus on x cubed and x squared as something common, so that I brought these together. So when I'm taking out a common factor here, you can see 2 and 8. There is something common between 2 and 8. It's 2. And also, if you look at the x cubed and the x squared, you can see that the smallest power is the x squared. So you always take the smallest power because it needs to divide into 2 of these. So now we are saying 2 into 2 is a 1, x squared into x cubed. All the 2x will cancel, only 1x will remain, plus 2 into 8 is a 4. Now x squared into x squared is a 1. So you have got x plus 4. Now you need to come up with a second bracket that is similar to x plus 4. So you consider your last two. Now in your last two, 5x plus 20, you ask yourself what is common. So obviously there the number is 5. Always take out the positive, then you put the bracket. Now you're saying 5x divided by 5, you will have the x. 20 divided by 5, you will have the 4. So now you can see that you have got two similar brackets, x plus 4, which is what is important, and you're supposed to have similar brackets. Then you need to write what is outside the bracket. You can see there is 1 and there is the other part. Then it will be, in this case, 2x squared plus 5. Now if we compare the two, you can see something interesting. 2x squared plus 5, we have 2x squared plus 5 in the other one. And x plus 4, we also have x plus 4. So when they are matching like this, it means your factorization is correct, or it also means it doesn't matter how you group them. Someone can do it the first method, someone can do it the second method, it will always work. But now another one can say, how about if I come out with this kind of grouping? Let me just quickly show you another grouping which will not give you the answer though. You can take that 2x cubed and say, let's say you want to group it with 20 now. You say 2x cubed plus 20, and then you take that one plus 5x plus 8x squared. You know, now this kind of grouping will not work, because in this case you are going to say, I see there is something common between 2 and 20, and I see there is something common here between x and 8x squared. It is x. Now whenever you are grouping, always make sure that whatever you are grouping, there is a variable. Don't only focus on the numbers. So if it's only 2 and 20, that kind of grouping will not work. Your grouping must always have some variables. For example, in the first one that we grouped, there was x cubed and x. You can see there are two variables. In the second one, there was x cubed and x squared. So this kind of grouping is the one that will give you two brackets that are simple. I hope the video that you just watched was of benefit to you. And as I said, if you benefited from the video, you can press the like button, or you can leave us a comment below. And if you want to be notified of these videos, you can always subscribe to our channel. Now, if you want the full curriculum of this mathematics, if you're studying for mathematics N1, N2 or N3 and you want the textbook as well as the videos, we have a full curriculum of the mathematics N1, N2, N3 as well as the accompanying videos. We also have videos of the previous question papers, the latest papers that were written in video form. These question papers can assist you as you prepare for your exams. We also have PDF version of the previous question papers that were written since 2014 until now, and if you want them, you can check all the information from our website, and trust me, these will become very handy to you. We sell them at a very discounted prices, and it is worth the try. Now, all the information, as I said, is detailed in the website. Now, thank you again for watching the channel. You'll be notified of the next video. Thank you.